Samsung just dropped One UI 8, their big Android 16 update. And yeah, I know some of you just got One UI 7 not too long ago, but hey, let's check it out anyway and see what's new. Let's kick it off with some of the most useful and underrated new features. First up, One UI 8 now lets your phone react to the weather in your area. How? Well, inside the Modes and Routines app, there are some new weather routines that you can try. Like there's one called Umbrella Reminder. If it's gonna rain, your phone will literally tell you out loud to grab an umbrella.
It might rain today. Take an umbrella if you go outside.
Same for cold weather. It'll let you know the lowest temperature for the day so that you can grab a sweater before heading out.
It's cold today. The lowest temperature will be 65 degrees.
And in the morning, after you dismiss your alarm, it'll read the time and weather to you.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. It's 76 degrees outside.
Next, One UI has these new dynamic live wallpapers that look really sick and change colors based on the time of day in your area. Like during the day, it's all bright and colorful, and then as it gets darker in the day, the colors get darker as well. It's pretty smooth. They honestly look really great with pretty much any home screen setup, especially with the new Material 3 expressive widgets that we just dropped. We added 18 of them in our latest Patreon update, and they're all about making your home screen feel more fun and personal. Definitely be sure to check them out on our Patreon. The Now bar on the lock screen now also shows off more ongoing stuff. For instance, if you get a call, you'll see who's calling and how long you've been talking. And if Do Not Disturb mode is on too, yup, that shows up as well, and you can turn it off right from the lock screen. Now my overall favorite new feature in One UI 8 has to be the new improvements done to the split screen. Before, when you had two apps open side by side, there was a limit to how far you could stretch one out, like 70% of the screen or so. But now you can drag the divider even further so one app can be super minimized. And when you want to switch focus, just tap the minimize one and boom, it pops up and the other one shrinks. It makes multitasking way more smoother. The quick share menu also got a nice upgrade. Before, you had to be sharing a file to open the menu. Now you can just tap its quick settings tile and boom, you get a whole new screen. Ready to receive shows up. Or you can switch to the send tab and pick files directly to share right then and there. Super useful if you're trying to send a mix of stuff all at once without being in a dedicated app. I've also been really liking the new look of the weather app. It's got these new hyper-realistic backgrounds with better looking animations. Sure, it's not as minimalist as before, but it gives you a way better feel of what the weather's actually like in that city. Aside from the visuals though, everything else is pretty much the same as before. Next up, contact cards. You know, that screen with your picture and name that pops up when you call someone. Yeah, that can finally be customized properly. Before it was kind of a pain, you couldn't really see the full layout when editing, but now they show you the whole preview so you can place your photo properly and not really need to guess if your selfie is off-centered. It's a small thing, but it makes it look way more polished. Another cool one is that Samsung's Aurocast feature just got better. It's that feature that lets you broadcast audio from your phone to multiple Bluetooth LE audio devices. That way, you and your friends can listen to the same songs together without needing to share the same earbuds. And now, One UI 8 makes the whole connection process a lot more seamless, since it now lets your friends join in by scanning a QR code when you start broadcasting. No more need to let them know what the password is. And speaking of audio, call recordings also got a bit more organized. Before, all your recordings just kind of lived in the Recents tab of the phone app, but now you can go into a specific contact's info page, and within the history section, you can find all the past call recordings that you had with that person neatly organized. Makes it so much easier to find what you need. Now Dex fans, Samsung didn't forget about you either. Their desktop mode now lets you adjust the output resolution, and you can also rotate the display to different angles. Super handy if you want to turn your monitor vertically and start using it that way. AI Select also got a speed boost. Now when you launch it, you don't have to wait around before you start drawing over stuff. You can just go right in. No lag, no weird delay, just straight to the point. Oh, and here's a small tweak in the camera app. Before, swiping up or down on the viewfinder would just flip between your front and back cameras. Now you can instead change that gesture to open up the camera's quick controls instead. Honestly, I find that to be way more useful. Plus, Samsung added a bunch of new accessibility features too, which is great for those with impairments. For example, in the assistant menu, you can now zoom in or out using buttons instead of just pinching on the screen. Way easier for folks who struggle with gestures. If you're using the magnifier tool, you can now also make your keyboard keys much larger. And if you use a Bluetooth hearing aid, you can now connect it directly through the hearing aid section in the accessibility settings. Makes everything just a bit more seamless. Now before I move on to the next new changes in One UI 8, I wanted to show off an extremely handy way to watch content on the go. It's called the ZIP by Aurzen, the sponsor of this video, and it's the world's first tri-fold mini projector that literally folds up like a flip phone and fits right in your pocket. When you unfold it, you get a full cinematic experience with an adjustable built-in stand. No tripod or extra gear needed to start watching on the wall, floor, ceiling, whatever. It's pretty insane. It also mirrors whatever screen you have, including Android, iPhone, Mac, or Windows devices. No Wi-Fi or apps needed either. And if you're a TikTok, Reels, or Shorts fan, just rotate the ZIP 90 degrees and it switches to full vertical mode. No black bars, just pure full screen. Plus, it has a time of flight sensor to provide zero lag autofocus and automatic vertical keystone correction to make sure your picture is always sharp and perfectly aligned. No hassle at all. The battery also lasts about 1.5 hours and charges fast via USB-C, so you can keep watching while charging. I've been using it non-stop while I'm on the go and want to just quickly watch some videos with some friends or family. If you also want to grab one for yourself and easily have better content on the go, I'll leave the link at the top of the description. Definitely recommend it. Okay, back to One UI 8. Samsung also went ahead and gave a bunch of their stock apps some love. Nothing crazy, but still a bunch of little quality of life improvements that I'm honestly very happy to see. Starting with the Gallery app, your screenshots now get auto-sorted into different categories. Boarding passes, coupons, shopping lists, places you want to visit, QR codes. It's all separated now. No more needing to dig through a mess. Plus, its menu also got a nice little refresh, and I think it looks a lot cleaner too. Same deal with the My Files app. The files you downloaded can now be grouped by which app they came from. So if you want to see just the files you downloaded from Slack or Chrome, you can do that. It just makes digging through your files a lot faster. Plus, the app's layout got slightly tweaked. The categories are a little more compact now, which helps keep things tidy. The Clock app also got some smart changes too. When you slap an alarm widget on your home screen, you can now choose to use alarm groups instead of individual alarms. That way you can toggle a whole set of alarms on or off right from the home screen. And even better, you can drop existing alarms into those groups without having to recreate them. It's a nice little time saver. If you're secretly using the secure folder, that private encrypted space, it's also got some legit upgrades. First off, you can now hide apps inside that folder. That means no notifications from those apps, and they won't show up anywhere on your home screen or in suggestions either, just tucked away. You can also assign different biometrics just for secure folder, like using a different finger than the one you use to unlock your phone. And my favorite is that you can now hide the entire secure folder, like completely invisible. No notifications, no app drawer suggestions. The only way to bring it back is through a quick settings tile. Now that's some next level privacy right there. The Calendar app also got smarter. When you go to create an event using the quick add bar at the bottom, it'll now suggest events based on what you added before. Things like holidays or some of your common plans. And when you hit the plus icon to actually create a full event, you'll see a new tab to instead create a reminder. Plus, if you need to reschedule a reminder too, check this out. You can literally just long press it on the calendar and drag and drop it to a new day. It's that easy. And while we're talking about reminders, the Reminder app itself got cleaned up too. Your categories are now shown in a drop-down at the top, which makes them way easier to access. And at the bottom, you'll now see suggested reminders that you can quickly add, like paying a monthly bill or maybe creating a workout schedule. Plus, when you're making a reminder, there's also a new toolbar that lets you instantly add things like check marks, media, dates, and even drop into a category right away. It's really handy. Samsung Health also tossed in a couple of fun tweaks, like you can now challenge friends to fitness goals, like see who can run 10 miles first, or walk 50,000 steps first. It's a pretty neat way to stay motivated. And if you use the app to track meals, it'll now nudge you to log your food if you forget. Because let's be real, we all forget. So yeah, at the end of the day, One UI 8 just feels like a bit of a cleanup update. After the huge One UI 7 overhaul, which took forever but was worth it, this is just Samsung fine-tuning things. And yeah, since it dropped less than 6 months later, I wasn't expecting fireworks. Plus, it's just the first beta, there are probably more things coming, If you want to try it out for yourself, just head to the Samsung Members app, scroll across the top banners until you see the one that says One UI Beta Program, tap on that, sign up, and you'll be able to download the One UI 8 Beta right over the air. Also tap on this video if you want to learn about a few new ways that can help you speed up your Android. Or check out this one for 15 underrated apps that you didn't even know existed. If you enjoyed this One UI 8 update breakdown, do me a favor and just drop a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching and sticking to the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Kapow!